Algebra 2 Final Review Part 2 questions that are similar to the final. Number 1, show why x minus 1 is a factor of the following polynomial: x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 4. So, if we're told that x minus 1 is a factor, if x minus 1 is a factor of p of x, then we know that x equals 1 with the opposite sign is a solution or a root of p of x. And we're going to verify that. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what p of 1 would be. Since x equals 1 is the root, we're going to find out the output value when x equals 1. So wherever we see x, we're going to plug in 1. 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 4. P of 1 equals 1 cubed is 1 minus 3 times 1 squared is 1. Okay, deal with it by the order of operations. Exponents have been evaluated already. So now we're going to go on to multiplication or division from left to right. So P of 1 is equal to 1 minus 3 when you multiply those, minus 2 when you multiply these factors, plus 4. Next step is add and subtract from left to right. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4, plus 4 would be 0. So P of 1 is 0. Since the output is 0 when the root is substituted into the polynomial equation, so we substitute that root into the polynomial equation, and the output was 0. Since that's the case, I'll continue up here. Since that's the case, x equals 1 is indeed a root, and x minus 1 is indeed a factor. That's how you go about solving that one. Number 2, we're evaluating 49 to the 3/2 power. Whenever you have a rational exponent, such as 3/2, a fraction, the numerator of that fraction is used as the power, and the denominator of that fraction is used as the root. So that means that we're going to take the base of 49 and raise it to the 3rd power and find out what that is equivalent to using our calculator. So that's going to be 117,649. And then the 2 is in the denominator, which is the root. So that means that we take the square root of that expression. And we do that on the calculator also. The square root of the answer that we just had. 343 would be your output. Number 3, an angle theta is in standard position and its terminal side passes through the point 6, -8, where 6 is x and -8 is y. We want to find the exact, so we're going to not use our calculator, value of the sine of theta and the cosine of theta. So whenever you're dealing with a question like this, you need to know what the radius would be, and that equation is r is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared. We're going to use these x and y values. R is equal to the square root of x squared, so that's 6 squared, plus y, which we're going to put in parentheses, -8, square that. Therefore, r is equal to the square root of 36 plus -8 in parentheses squared is 64. Just be careful with that being in parentheses. and that's going to be r is equal to the square root of 100, which is 10. So our radius is 10. The sine of the sine of theta. The formula for this is that you take the y value and divide by the r value. Go back, your y value is negative 8. This is divided by the r value of 10. Reduce this to be negative 4/5. So the sine of theta, that ratio, is negative 4/5. If we want to find the cosine ratio of theta, we take x and divide by r. The x value is a 6. We divide this by the r of 10, reduced to be 3/5. Your cosine ratio for that particular angle theta is 3/5.